Hey guys, it's Tepeset here, and just got back from vacation just in time for the beta to release on Xbox One, Microsoft 10, and Android. So this is really exciting because all the betas that we've been getting have just been kind of, parody stuff, bug fixes, nothing super interesting outside of the iron farm stuff, and all of the, water-based zero-tick farms being broken now. Which a lot of people have gone over all that. So I'm just gonna, and I have a video on the iron farm stuff. So I'm just gonna skip over that and go into the big stuff. Nether biomes. So this is the first look that Bedrock is getting at the Nether biome updates and all of the new mobs and all of that. So instead of doing a new world and going in and just like showing you what the Nether looks like brand new, I decided to do a download of a realm that I run. Been kind of inactive for a while. So I figured downloading that and hopping into the Nether that's already been kind of explored would give you a more realistic look as to what you're going into if you're going to keep your current world without any trimming, how it's going to look. So that'll just be playing in the background while I talk about some of the stuff that's being updated here. So I'm just going to read some stuff out of the changelog over the different biomes. In the changelog section, under biomes, Nether biome fog. Biome fog color smoothly blends between biomes. Smooth. Flying around when I did find some biomes eventually, it was pretty smooth. It was much smoother than the initial release for the snapshots on Java. They were really just like sharp, jittery, like bam, you're in one biome, bam, you're not. So that's really good. Warped forests can now be found in the Nether. Warped nylium carpets the forest floor along with all kinds of strange new vegetation. Huge warped fungi make up the trees of this forest, with shroom lights lighting up the fungi canopies. Warped warp blocks can be cleared quickly using a hoe. A dark blue fog covers the forest. Warp spores swirl through the air. The warped forests are strange, but also the least hostile place in the Nether. Crimson forests can now be found in the Nether. Crimson nylium carpets the forest floor along with all kinds of strange new vegetation. So it seems like a lot of this is just kind of like copy-paste type things. So the main difference between the crimson forest is the types of nylium, the types of fungi, and then weeping vines grow from the cave ceilings and huge fungi canopies. Hoglins, piglins, and zombified piglins wander these forests. Crimson spores swirl through the air. Soul Sand Valley, an open space made mostly of soul sand and soul soil. Basalt pillars span from floor to ceiling. Ash falls through the air. A light blue glow envelops the valley. And beware of skeletons here. Now, at some point in the video, I do run into a Soul Sand Valley, and there are a lot of skeletons. There's gas. What I really found interesting was in all these new areas, I typically found a new Nether fortress that I hadn't been to in this realm before. So it was really nice to see that how they generate into these new biomes. There's been a ton of block types added to the beta. You've got the non-flammable wood materials from the crimson stems and warp stems, basalt blocks, crimson nylium and warp nylium, nether sprouts, crimson roots, warped roots, new types of the fungi, the crimson and warped fungi. You can grow these with bone meal also. Weeping vines that grow from the bottom of a block downwards. Weeping vines are climbable. The shroom lights are a new natural light source. I'm not super impressed with those, but you can take it or leave it. It's another light source. It's a new block. Soul soil, and the soul soil is flammable and it burns with a blue flame. It can be used to craft soul torches, and those can be crafted into soul lanterns. The wither can now be summoned using soul soil as a base and using bone meal on netherrack target block experimental. The closer you hit to the center on the target blocks, the larger the redstone signal is. And you'll need 1 hay block and 4 redstone for this recipe, and it's in experimental gameplay until it acts consistently over all platforms. So if you want to see a bunch of cool stuff with target blocks, I would go search Mumbo Jumbos. He did a ton of stuff using target blocks in a couple of videos recently. Really good stuff. Hopefully it transfers over. It might not. So we have the piglins, the hoglins, and the zombified piglins. The piglins will attack you basically if you're not wearing gold armor, and they will trade gold and give you things if you throw gold at them. They also hunt hoglins for food. They fight wither skeletons. They work best in a party. A lot of this stuff I'm kind of glossing over because it's already been really covered in a lot of snapshots, and there's really not much difference I've discovered. So now there's netherite. And netherite can be used to upgrade your diamond armor. You mine it from ancient debris, and then you take the ancient debris and refine it into netherite scrap in a furnace or blast furnace, and then 4 netherite scrap and 4 gold ingots makes 1 netherite ingot. So it's very expensive, very rare, hard to find. It's at lava level. It's like diamonds in the nether, but rarer. There's a lot of parity fixes, and the main ones I wanted to cover was the despawn rules. So they've changed the despawn rules to try to closer match Java's despawn rules. And so it allows mobs to more consistently spawn around the player and improve the frequency of mobs spawning underground while the player is exploring caves, as well as trying to farm areas that specific mobs spawn on. For example, wither skeleton farms in nether fortresses. This doesn't affect any mobs that have been name tag, tamed, bred, etc. It doesn't affect villagers. So the new rule is that if mobs are between 32 and 54 blocks from the nearest player, they must not take damage for 30 seconds, as well as successfully roll a 1 in 800 chance to despawn. It still doesn't affect things like Vindicators, Bees, Evocation, Illagers, Ender Dragon, Wither Boss, Iron Golem, Snow Golem, Elder Guardian Villagers, Wandering Traders. Things like that aren't going to be affected by this new rule, because they're not affected like that in Java either. So there's been some changes to villages. Players can now more reliably raise their popularity within a village. Trading with villagers now correctly increases popularity. Curing a zombie villager now grants additional popularity, and popularity will become more neutral over time. They talk in the changelog a little bit about the increased golem spawn rate and modified spawn rules. So this is where it gets a little unclear, and I'm going to be doing a lot of experimentation, and I'm sure Old Guy is going to be doing a lot with this. There's going to be a ton of people digging into this iron golem spawning, because it says that at least 75% of the villagers must have worked in the past day, a minimum of 20 beds, and every villager in the village needs to have a bed, and only 1 golem will spawn for every 10 villagers. So I'm wondering if this means that you can put 100 beds in there and 100 villagers and get 10 golems every time it spawns. But like I said, there's gonna have to be some more experimentation in there. Curse of Binding and Curse of Vanishing have been added into the game, which another parity thing. It'll be great for realms and stuff like that. Mobs in Bedrock now pick up items and equip armor. Now, another big thing, walls do not have gaps anymore when stacked vertically. So this can be used in redstone contraptions now to send a redstone signal downwards very quickly and easily and cheaply, as I will show down here. But yeah, overall, this is a really great first look at all the Nether update stuff. I'm really excited to see how things turn out, and really excited to keep updating you guys on everything. So yeah, leave a like, leave me a subscription, keep checking back in for news, updates, let's plays, tutorials, and we will definitely be going over a lot of stuff in more depth on this at a later date. So keep checking back in, and I will talk to you guys later.